Hi, friends. I'm Karen, and this is the Family Food for Moms podcast. We're talking about inspiration for family cooking and dining. Today, we're going to be talking about mozzarella as part of our series on amazing ingredients with a rich history and amazing uses in the kitchen. Mozzarella is a cheese that is unique. It's very different to other cheeses. And of course, we all love pizza. What would pizza be without mozzarella? When I was growing up, we didn't have mozzarella, and I think in our country even. And so the pizza was made with other cheeses like cheddar, yellow cheese, and it wasn't nearly as good. Mozzarella has the amazing properties of being gooey, melty, stretchy, like that slice of pizza where all the cheese stretches from the middle. So mozzarella obviously originated in Italy, in the southern region of Campania around Naples. It actually originates from the Middle Ages around the 12th century. The legend of mozzarella, the accidental discovery, says that during the Middle Ages, cheesemakers could have dropped curd into hot water, either during the cheese-making process or by accident, and then noticed that it began to stretch and form these elastic strands, which is a unique characteristic of mozzarella. Originally, it was made using milk from water buffalo, not cows. So the traditional version is known as mozzarella di bufala campana, produced in areas that had water buffalo herds and giving it that unique flavor. The name mozzarella comes from the Italian word mozzare, meaning to cut off. And that refers to the process when you cut the curd, hand cutting the curd during production. Mozzarella is a type of pasta filata cheese. So pasta filata means spun paste, or the word pasta actually refers to paste or dough, which is why we call pasta what do we do. But pasta filata meaning spun paste where the curds are stretched and kneaded at that phase in the hot water. Over time, cow's milk versions became popular and are now common, especially outside Italy. But the traditional water buffalo version is considered a delicacy and has the status of protected designation of origin in the EU. So this is how mozzarella is made. I've tried it once and I struggled with the end where it had to be in hot water and then be stretched because it disintegrated a lot, it seems. So maybe my water was too hot, but it kind of worked. And it's great fun cutting the curds, doing all the parts. So what they do is they start with water buffalo milk for mozzarella di bufala, but commonly cow's milk, and it's warmed to around 32 to 37 degrees Celsius, which is 90 to 99 Fahrenheit. Then a culture is added, a starter culture, which would be bacterial, and this acidifies the milk. And then an enzyme called rennet, which is often from the lining of a calf's stomach, the animal-based rennet. And that coagulates the milk into the soft curd. And it sets after about half an hour. So then it's cut either by hand or I guess sometimes with a machine, just sliced into blocks. So you kind of slice this way and then across that way and then just keep slicing and stirring that in to the whey, which is the liquid part. So it's gently stirred and then sometimes reheated slightly, and that separates the curds and whey completely. And then the fermentation part. So the curds rest in the whey for a few hours and this ferments it, the acidity rises, and it's the right acidity is essential for the curds to become stretchable. I think this was my issue. It didn't wait long enough. So the curds need to be the right acidity and then it's really stretchable. Then you remove them from the whey and they're placed in hot water and kneaded and stretched until they become kind of smooth and elastic. And then it's formed into balls by hand. kind of tucked under like with a ball of dough. Stretch and tuck, stretch and tuck. And then the mozzarella is placed in cold water or a brine solution, which is salt water. And then it's sold in that brine bath to keep it fresh and moist. You do get a firmer version as well that's not in brine, and that would be the kind that would be great to use on pizza. So the kind that's made with buffalo milk is kind of richer and creamier, but any kind of mozzarella is delicious. It is low on salt compared to some other cheeses. So let's talk more about the health benefits of mozzarella, why it's good for you. It's a good source of protein, rich in that high quality protein that helps to build your muscles, support your immune system. It's rich in calcium, which is good for bone health, teeth strength, and muscle function. It contains probiotics, if we're talking about the fresh mozzarella in the brine, especially when made from raw milk. So lots of beneficial bacteria in there. Then, as I said, it's lower in salt, sodium, and it's lower in fat compared to aged cheeses. So that can be good in some situations. It's got vitamin B12, phosphorus, and zinc, which is good for your energy, your nerve function, etc. It doesn't age, so it's best eaten fresh. It's considered a fresh cheese and doesn't go through any kind of months of aging. So what can you use it for besides pizza? Caprese salad. I'm sure you've seen that. It's lovely with the fresh, moist mozzarella or a big mozzarella ball sliced. And then you add layers of large tomatoes, basil leaves, basil pesto if you like, olive oil, and a touch of balsamic. That's one of the appetizers you'll find in our Elegant Easy Appetizers cookbook, recipe book that just came out. You can find that on familyfoodformoms.com. And it's got a whole lot of elegant appetizers that are easy to do for your family at the table or for entertaining or for date night. Each of them only have 5 ingredients. And there's photos to show you how to arrange them on the plate to make them look good. So you should definitely go look at that. There's a sample you can download as well. Then pasta, lasagna, or stuffed pasta shells. Any pasta is improved with a layer of mozzarella inside or on top or both. Mozzarella sticks or fried balls are delicious if they're breaded and deep fried, and then you get that gooey mozzarella inside, and you can have a dip with that like marinara sauce or spicy dips if you like those. Then melty sandwiches, croque monsieur, which is the grilled cheese sandwich with ham, I think, and then bechamel sauce on top. I think a croque madame has also an egg on top. But any grilled cheese that you do, mozzarella is going to be amazing. I like to use a few different cheeses like cheddar, maybe Emmentaler, and the mozzarella in a sandwich. It makes it so good. And it melts beautifully. You can add tomato, you can add pesto, roasted vegetables. Then it's really good in stuffed chicken breasts or meatballs. You can cut the chicken breast open, put some mozzarella inside before you bake it or on top. Then flatbreads and bruschetta. Use it on top of those. Toasted baguette slices. You can put mozzarella, herbs, tomatoes on top. Even mozzarella with figs and prosciutto is an amazing sweet and savory combination. Breakfast dishes or egg dishes. You can use mozzarella on your omelets or inside your omelets with a frittata, with a breakfast burrito. It melts quickly and gives it that creamy texture. Mozzarella in soups like tomato soup. It really melts and gives it that amazing cheesy pull and richness when you put it in your soup. I like to use it inside puff pastry or inside a pizza dough, kind of like pizza pockets. You can put herbs, mozzarella, tomatoes in there or tomato paste. And then the mozzarella is a delicious filling. Then some more unusual uses of mozzarella or unusual dishes that perhaps may be new to you from around the world. Carrozza from Italy is a Neapolitan street food. So it's like a mozzarella sandwich dipped in egg and breadcrumbs and then deep fried. So it's like grilled cheese meets French toast. So you make your amazing grilled cheese sandwich, you dip it in the egg and breadcrumbs, and then you deep fry or simply fry in a little oil in a pan on each side or bake. Then burrata. So this is very similar to mozzarella. It's a soft pouch of mozzarella filled with stracciatella, which is shreds of the curd and cream. And that's served fresh. And then when you dip your toast or something into it, it kind of opens and melts and the liquid comes out, and it's a delicious, almost like a dip. You can have it with fresh tomatoes, with prosciutto, drizzled with oil, olive oil. South Korea has a spicy dish, a stir-fry dish with chicken, sweet potatoes, cabbage, and rice cakes, interestingly, and then finished with a layer of melted mozzarella on top. So that creamy, mild cheese contrasts well with the spice and helps with the burn. Then in Venezuela, arepas, mozzarella stuffed arepas, are cornmeal cakes that can be split open and stuffed, similar to a pita bread, except made from cornmeal. Mozzarella is a popular filling because it melts beautifully and it balances well with that toasty crust. Have you heard of cheese curds from the Midwest? Traditionally, they're made with cheddar, but some versions use the mozzarella curds that are deep fried and then served with a ranch dressing or a spicy dip. Naan bread, mozzarella stuffed naan bread, India style. So the naan bread is filled with mozzarella, garlic, herbs, and then baked. Goes well with a grill, with grilled meat, whenever you need something extra. From Sicily, arancini is mozzarella stuffed rice balls. So they're crispy rice balls. They're filled with ragu, which is a shredded beef, peas, and then a melty mozzarella center. So this is often used as a snack or appetizer in Sicily. Japanese pizza toast, a slice of thick bread topped with tomato sauce, and then vegetables or sausage and melted mozzarella. So in food cafes in Japan, it's popular for breakfast or light meals. And then mozzarella stuffed burgers, originating in Minnesota. This is a burger that has mozzarella inside the patty so that it melts when it cooks and oozes out when you bite into it. Messy, but delicious. So to wrap things up, mozzarella cheese has come a long way from its humble beginnings in southern Italy, where it was first made from the milk of water buffaloes. So the fresh, milky flavor and stretchy texture made it an instant classic. And it's definitely a beloved staple around the world. And it's definitely not just for pizza, although it's hard to beat that cheesy stretch. So it shines in the caprese salads, melts beautifully in lasagna, and adds that creamy touch to your sandwiches and your baked dishes. So remember, next time you bite into that gooey slice or fresh tomato salad, you're tasting a piece of history. And remember how food connects us across time and culture. Enjoy some mozzarella, enjoy some pizza, and enjoy some salad, pasta. I hope you have a fun week. Thanks for listening. I'll see you next time.